Welcome to our weekly program, The Inside Story of Chabad in America through the Mindel Archives. This program is a continuation of 2 weeks ago, Parsha Gdoshim. And you can always click back and see. We learned in Parsha Gdoshim some halachas, Bein Odom Lachaverei, and also it says there, Hoichiach toichiach es hamisecho, about giving musar, admonition. How you should give musar, or you have to know. You can give musar, but remember, and that means that you don't embarrass somebody. You can tell somebody off if you need. We'll see soon, but without embarrassing. It's important when a person gives musar, how and who, and if he should, and if he's allowed to give musar. Because musar is very, very powerful. We should try to avoid giving musar. Now, talking about that, a few months ago, I think, I mentioned in my program a letter from the Rebbe that one asked the Rebbe, why do I have to learn Chassidus? I can learn Musar. So the Rebbe answered, which I'm not going to go into that whole thing, but I'll take out a nekuda a minute. So the Rebbe said like this: first of all, why do you have to learn Musar when Chassidus has already Musar? In Chassidus there is Musar. There's a lot of Musar. In Tanya, a lot of Musar. So learn Chassidus. Also, the Rebbe says there, Chassidus is Sur Mera, is Asay Toiv. Musar is Sur Mera. Go away from bad, that's Musar. Musar tells you how bad this is, and you should go away from this bad. And sometimes it says even that you're going to be punished if you do this and this and this and this. This is basically Musar. Telling off. Asay Toiv means good, positive, negative and positive. You have to have both. But of course, Asay Toiv, if you learn Musar in Chassidus, so then the Musar will be more powerful. The Musar will be much in a different way. Also, the Rebbe says that there's a Chassidus it's a chiyuv. It's an obligation to learn Chassidus. Push obligation. There are 6 mitzvahs. I mentioned then, I'll mention it again. The Rebbe mentions 6 mitzvahs that is a chiyuv 24 hours a day. You don't find it anywhere, only through Chassidus. You know this is 6 mitzvahs. Without this Chassidus, and you are obligated to do these 6 mitzvahs all the time. Number 1, he says here, believe in God. Chassidus tells you how to believe in God. Not to believe in any deity, to affirm His unity, to love Him, to fear Him, not to go astray, and we spoke, it doesn't mean don't look, that's very easy. We spoke over there what it means, that's a deeper meaning. So these things, so these things you learn in Chassidus. So when you learn Chassidus, your whole outlook in the world is different. When you look at, the Rebbe once said, when you put on glasses, blue glasses, the world is blue. When you put on green glasses, the world is green. The world is not blue, it's not green, that's the way you look at the world. So when you look at the world through learning Chassidus, the world is completely a different world. But Musar is something that you have to be in a special level to learn Musar. And Bifrat, he says, Al totines chavercho, al tagia libkobi. Don't judge somebody. You're giving Musar to somebody, you're judging him, you're telling him off why he did this and this. If you would be in his situation, maybe you would be the same. You are not in that situation. So who are you to give Musar? Just Musar. Another thing is, that can bring, he says, kitrug. certain things that are mekatrik, the sotan. They might bring, when you say something which is not good, the sotan might start working. And this reminds me, there's nothing to do with this, but it reminds me that be careful what you say. Once I know that Pesach, I remember the story by the Rebbe. Rabbi used to eat upstairs in 770 by the Friedrich Rebbetzin. And the waiter served a soup, Pesach, and they had this, it wasn't knedlach, because you're not allowed to eat knedlach, but it looked like knedlach. It's like potato starch, it looked like that. So somebody served the Rebbe, a waiter, and he mentioned that to somebody, it looks like knedlach. The Rebbe heard the word knedlach, the Rebbe moved it away. Didn't even want to, he didn't eat it. Even to speak, it's very, you have to, al tiftach bein, always be careful whatever you speak. And of course, especially kanoi, zealot. Only Pinchas can be a kanoi. There can be, that's very easy between zealot and cruelty is a very, very thin line. You can be, you're a kanoi, you're this, even in good things, but don't be a kanoi. So by learning Chassidus and stressing Chassidus, then the whole Musar will be different. So a person can ask, didn't we hear Musar from Tzaddikim? And as a matter of fact, the Rebbe many times also in Fabring spoke very, very hard words, and the Rebbe had to say certain things. I remember when I was a bacher once, there was standing a chosid, a big bal chesed, a very kind person, a very good person, a very frum person, but he wasn't a big lamdan, he wasn't a learned. And the Rebbe was speaking about a shayla, maybe a shayla and Rashi. In the middle, the Rebbe stopped, and the Rebbe looked at him, and said, "Nu Reb, whoever, Nu, do you know the answer?" Shocked. He wasn't the lamdan, and the Rebbe knew he wasn't. So what does it mean? It looks like it was embarrassed. So then we spoke to Mashpim. So it came out from there, and the mitzvahs from the Friedrich Rebbe, from the Rebbe Rashab, that sometimes that person, and we don't know, but a Rebbe does know. Maybe he had to go through Lamaila certain punishments, certain things, and by the Rebbe saying that to him, which looked like it's embarrassed, looked like it, maybe that took away everything. That could be, but that's a tzaddik. That's what a Rebbe says. But we are not in that madrege to speak musa to somebody. Many times when the Rebbe did say a harsh word, he smiled afterwards, because it's not that the Rebbe wants to. I want to read to you just a small a letter, how a person should, how the Rebbe answered somebody about somebody who complained that people speak in shul, and this person tells off people why they speak in shul, and the Rebbe answers him how you should tell them off, what kind of musar you should give a person, how you should give a person musar by speaking in shul. So I want to just read to you to show you an example how the Rebbe feels about a person giving musar. So this is a letter written in 5739. This is to acknowledge receipt of your letter, in which you write about the unbecoming conduct of some congregants in shul during prayer, and ask for some suggestions to deal with the problem. I trust that there is no need to emphasize to you at length that has always been the case, and especially nowadays, it is much easier to influence people in a cordial and pleasant way. As it is written, the ways of Torah are ways of pleasantness, and all its paths are peace. Thus, in order to be effective, it is necessary to make a personal approach, not in the presence of others, and certainly not public, which is a din in Shulchan Aruch. And while it is a mitzvah in the Torah to admonish a fellow Jew, the din requires that the first approach be made in a personal and quiet manner, not in the presence of others, since it concerns Jews who are observant and responsive to Torah and mitzvahs. There is the assurance that words coming from the heart enter the heart and are eventually effective. In these days, when we learn Pirkei Avos, you surely remember the Mishnah which says, "Be among the disciples of Aharon, loving peace, pursuing peace, loving creatures and bringing them close to Torah." Be it remembered that Aaron was the Kohen Gadol, yet he did not consider it beneath him to go to people and speak to them personally and do everything possible that there should be a true peace. Peace between a Jew and his Father in heaven, as well as peace between a Jew and another Jew, through the proper conduct in acceptance with the Torah. This is how a person, if he does want to give Musar. Here is another, just to let another couple minutes. I'm not going to say that whole thing. This is also somebody who speaks Lashon Hara. The Rebbe was very shocked that he spoke Lashon Hara. And the Rebbe said, I'm not used to this kind of speeches. But the Rebbe said like this: what prompts me to reply to your letter at all is that in trying to find some explanation for it, that he spoke, he didn't speak good words on other people. The only conclusion I can come up with is that your tefillin are most likely not kosher, or your mezuzah, or are not kosher, or both. I therefore consider it my duty to call your attention to it with a view to having them checked and rectified. And though this too may prove, to use your expression, counterproductive, I will at least have done my duty. It is possible that at some future time you will reflect on the subject matter and reconsider your position. If you do, it will be helpful to you to note and look up the following sources referenced in the Shulchan Aruch Yeridea, section 285, end of paragraph 1. Should you wish to do something about it, you will be well advised to inform yourself on the authority of the author of the Shulchan Aruch, Rabbi Schapiro, and then apologize to him in a suitable manner. On my part, the matter is closed, and the Rebbe signs. So this is how the Rebbe feels as far as telling off. So this is a continuation of Pasha Kedoshim. So this is a lesson how we should conduct ourselves. In Mitzvah Hashem, next week we will continue our Thursday night program. Thank you.